Different types of hooks for fishing soft plastic baits. That's what we're going to learn today here at the Googan Lab. There's a whole lot of hooks out there, and you'll notice there are different sizes and different girths of hooks and things like that. We're going to keep it pretty basic today and go through the basic types of hooks and which plastics you're going to pair these up with. So let's get into the smallest one first, and that is your Finesse style hooks. Now your Finesse style hooks are pretty short. They're usually either a round bend or an O'Shaughnessy style, and they are really meant to be exposed out of the plastic. And I'll show you what I mean here. And this is when you're using smaller baits or you really don't want a big hook presence at all. Maybe you're fishing really clear water. You need that finesse presentation. And always, the bigger your hook, the less action it's gonna be on your soft plastic bait. So remember that. But there's a couple of things that you can rig these up with. Finesse style bait like this drag and drop right here for drop shotting. You just nose hook it like this. Very simple. That's exposed. So really easy hook set. You don't have to penetrate through the plastic, it's already through. Another way you can rig it, do it wacky, finesse style, just like that. Another variation of that, you have a bigger, more circular style finesse hook with a little bit bigger gap in it. Same concept though, this one has a weed guard, wacky style, right in the middle right there. Exposed, put your weed guard down. So those are the types of small finesse hooks you can use in your plastics. So next we'll move on to your round bend worm hooks. A round bend worm hook is probably one of the oldest style hooks. There's a 90-degree shank on the top of the hook, and then you have this round bend. And what this is designed to do is for this hook point to stay inside of that plastic, making the bait completely weedless. So a small diameter worm like this Mondo worm right here, this is how you rig this up. Just want to go in, turn at that 90, and then you want to crimp the bait up a little bit and push that round bend just straight into the middle of the worm like that. And there's no hook point exposed right there. So you can fish this through the heaviest of cover, and when you go to set the hook, that hook point's gonna come out of the top and you're gonna get the fish. So really this is mainly used on worms and thinner diameter worms. And when you have a thicker soft plastic and you need more of a gap, that's when we're gonna go to a wide gap hook. And what kind of plastics am I talking about here? It's gonna be your swim baits, it's gonna be some thicker flipping creature baits, tubes, things like that, frogs. These just have a much thicker diameter than, let's say, just a thin diameter ribbon tail worm or a finesse worm. You need a bigger gap. So I'm going to show you how this is rigged up. Similar, but what we're going to do here is we're actually going to go all the way through the plastic. So we'll do our bend there. So you take your hook point all the way through. I got my frog right here, and you see that's weedless right there on top. You just skin hook it, and there's still a lot of meat on the bone right there with that gap. So if I was fishing a round bend hook here, there's not enough space for that fish to clamp down on it, and then you get a proper hook set into the fish. So that is why we use wide gaps. Another example to use the wide gap on is a swim bait. Same thing, you've got that thicker middle body, and you're gonna do the exact same thing. Just come up through the top of your swim bait, and it's just skin hooked right at top. And then you've got that gap to be able to set the hook into the fish. Now we'll go with a more specialized hook, but still an important hook to have in your repertoire, and that is a straight shank flipping hook. The straight shank flipping hook, there's no 90-degree bend at the top like the name implies. It is a straight shank. And the advantage of this is you're getting the most hook set power, the least amount of resistance going through your worm, your creature bait, whatever you're using, and going straight into the fish. So it just has a lot less plastic to maneuver through. It's just going straight up into the fish. So you do need to know a specialized knot to tie these on. You can check out some of our other videos and check out our knot for tying on a straight shake flipping hook like this. But how you're gonna rig this up is you're gonna come through, let's say a creature bait. I've got a bandito bug right here. Excellent bait for flipping. You're gonna go through kind of at an angle, a 45 through the plastic, about a 1/4 inch through. And most straight shank hooks have a little plastic keeper up at the top. Just a little piece of plastic or metal to keep that bait from sliding down. So when I pull on that, it's not gonna slide down. And then we're just gonna go in the middle of your bait, just like you did on the round bend hook. So that bait that hook is completely sealed into that plastic. So when you're fishing around super thick cover, this is especially used in thick grasses, your hook point's not gonna come out. And when you go to set that hook, it's gonna come through that plastic, drive right into the fish. And usually with a straight shank, you get a really good hook set in the top of the mouth. And that's what you want when you're trying to drag fish out of the cover and really being able to steer them out and drag them out. Now lastly, we're gonna go with sort of a hybrid hook. Now this is the hammer hook. This is a Googan Squad hook, and it's kind of a combination of some of the ones we've just shown. So a combination of the worm hook and a wide gap. And this is just a very versatile hook. You could use this on a lot of things. If you wanted to make this hook work for most of these baits, you definitely could, but there are advantages to using the more specialized hooks. So how you're gonna rig this up, pretty simple. Do your 90-degree turn right there. You come straight out of the top of the plastic after pinching it up a little bit, and then just skin hook it right there. So that's the main difference between the wide gaps, the hammer hook, and the round bend worm hook, is you're already exposed. So when that fish clamps down, there you go. You're ready to set the hook into the fish. So that is all of the hooks. If you want to check out more tips and tricks, make sure to keep it locked right here, subscribe, and we'll see you right back here at the Googan Lab.